G'day, I'm Andrew Marshall with the Northern Australia Climate Program at the University of Southern Queensland. And this is a short summary of the Bureau of Meteorology's climate outlook for the northern half of Western Australia for the weeks and months ahead, issued on the 25th of July, 2024. Let's first take a look at the rainfall outlook, starting with the outlook scenarios. So this is the rainfall totals that have a 75% chance of occurring for your region. We're currently in the dry season for Northern Australia, of course, so looking ahead to the 3 months from August to October, we are seeing a 75% chance of up to about 10 millimetres of rain for northern and eastern parts of the Kimberley and for much of the Gascoyne. The southern parts of the Gascoyne region have a 75% chance of receiving up to about 50 mils with some of that winter rain. And if you'd like to drill a little deeper into the forecast for a specific location, this magnifying glass here is a really nice little feature where you can specify somewhere, let's say Broome. So if you click on this, a small box will appear. You can type Broome or any other location into there. And here's one I prepared earlier. And this breaks the forecast down into the chance of different rainfall amounts occurring to give you an idea of how conditions are likely to be compared to the historical median. Your local climate mate will be happy to go through this with you in more detail. Now taking a quick look at the Bureau's outlook for the northern rainfall onset, issued on the 25th of July, and most of Western Australia has a 60 to 70% chance of a later than usual onset. And now let's look at temperature. And the difference from average for maximum temperature here shows cooler conditions of around 1 degree or so for much of Western Australia, with some northeastern parts of the state expecting warmer than average conditions of up to 1 degree or so for the 2 weeks from the 30th of July to the 12th of August. And here the average is calculated over the 1981 to 2018 period for this time of year. For minimum temperature, now we're looking at cooler than average conditions for central parts of Western Australia and warmer than average conditions elsewhere, particularly around the Kimberley, where the forecast is suggesting up to around 2 degrees warmer than average for that 2-week period. Looking at the chance of extremes map for the 3 months from August to October, we're seeing an elevated chance of unusually warm days across most of Western Australia and unusually warm nights right across the state. And by unusually warm, we mean the highest 20% of historical temperature records for this time of year based on the 1981 to 2018 period. Now, these long-range forecasts are influenced by several climate factors, so let's have a quick look at the latest climate driver update from the Bureau. And the El Niño Southern Oscillation is currently neutral, but we are on a La Niña watch at the moment due to signs that a La Niña event may form in the Pacific Ocean later this year. This does not guarantee that a La Niña will develop. 4 of the 7 climate models that the Bureau surveys are showing the possibility of La Niña conditions from October, and the remaining 3 are suggesting neutral conditions will continue. I should emphasise that early signs of La Niña are most relevant to the climate of the tropical Pacific region, and that the long-range forecast for Australian rainfall and temperature that I've just shown provides better guidance for local climate. With regards to the other climate drivers, the Indian Ocean Dipole, or the IOD, is currently neutral. 3 of the 5 climate models that the Bureau surveys are showing the possibility of negative IOD conditions from September. IOD forecast skill is typically low at this time of year, beyond 2 months ahead, and as you can see, the model forecasts are still showing a very large spread of possible outcomes. Not much is happening with the Madden Julian Oscillation right now, which is currently neutral and is expected to remain weak into early August, and the Southern Annular Mode, or the SAM, is currently negative, which typically brings reduced rainfall to parts of southern Queensland only really at this time of year, except there are some influences further south as well, but the SAM is expected to return to neutral in the next week. Finally, turning to the pasture growth outlook from Long Paddock. For the 3 months from July to September, not much happening for northern regions at this time of year, of course, but some of the southern regions are expected to see varying amounts of pasture growth in response to the expected rainfall in the coming months. For more information and further updates, visit the Bureau's climate pages at bom.gov.au/climate. If you have any questions about recent conditions or the use of weather and climate forecasts, please reach out to your local climate mate. You can read more about the Northern Australia Climate Program at nacp.org.au. See you next month.